Is Ollie really the prototype? Ollie has led us through PlayCare to assist in eliminating Catnap and the prototype. He has given us the keys to every facility, is aware of where the generators are and occasionally even where the toys are. He also has knowledge of how Catnap turned into the monster he is today, and he has even built a shrine for the prototype, even if it is located in a cave probably with no cameras in it. Moreover, we haven't even had a chance to visit this child. The problem is that Ollie never once identified himself as a child or even as an orphan of Playtime Co. His voice is the only thing we have to go on then. Even so, there are still certain aspects of his voice that I find particularly striking in addition to other aspects. But given all the mystery surrounding this youngster, is it possible that Ollie is evil or worse? Is Ollie the prototype? There are a few questions that I know are on everyone's minds before we start to determine whether or not he is on our side or if he is not who he seems to be. First of all, how does Ollie know so much about PlayCare? Ollie's voice suggests that he's still a young child, therefore there's a possibility that PlayCare took him in as an orphan. The problem is, we don't know Ollie's age because we left Playtime Co. 10 years prior in 1995. If we were to continue with the supposition that he is an orphan, we would need to consider the other orphans' ages, more precisely their dates of birth. We returned to Playtime Co. in 2005. But wait, Theodore Grammel is the only orphan whose birth date is known. He was born in 1983, making him 12 years old at the time he was transformed into Catnap. Even if Playtime Co. did experiment with an orphan who is far younger than 12, they would sound much older than Ollie after 10 years. This is unlikely to happen. However, what if Ollie had been 2 or 3 years old during the hour of joy and had lived to see us through, thereby making him 12 or 13 years old? That is practically unfeasible. Ollie could not have learned nearly everything there is to know about PlayCare in that entire period and made it this far on his own. At this point, every experiment has been famished and Ollie has most certainly been as well. Therefore, in order to understand how Ollie knows so much about PlayCare, we may need to discard the notion that Ollie is even a child and just maybe, that Ollie is even human. This brings me to my second query, which you may have asked Ollie at any point throughout their interactions. Why does he have such an odd style of speaking? Ollie's voice has an unusual up-pitch in practically every dialogue segment you hear. It sounds like someone is trying their hardest to seem like a toddler, and they're not very good at it. Overall, he just chooses strange conversation choices. Take a listen to this.
It seems like Poppy explained everything now, and she turned on the dome's backup power. Should be able to find a big power cord somewhere around the porch. Grab it and plug it in underneath the statue. If you thought that was terrifying, just wait until you see the real thing.
Hold on, support it. Wait until you see the real thing. Is Ollie aware of the prototype's appearance? If he was unaware of his appearance, he wouldn't have stated that. How then has he seen him at all? It won't take long for us to address it. However, Ollie is simply too animated for the situation we're in. And there's always this undercurrent of caution even when Poppy is speaking to us. But Ollie hardly notices that. But enough about his speech patterns. Let's discuss his speaking style. Ollie's primary chat usually begins when you're in the middle of PlayCare, and that doesn't really alter. However, Ollie is speaking with us at the start of Chapter 3 just after the train accident and when he is giving us instructions on what to do in the gas production zone. Later on in Home Sweet Home, we notice Catnap swiftly hiding in the shadows behind us when Ollie overhears her on the phone asking us to flee. However, it seems likely that this was a component of the hallucination we had after breathing in the red smoke. We never really run, which is the main reason this is how I think. And we never did really meet Catnap face to face after this. And all we see is a terrifying phantasm of Huggy Wuggy. We wake up inside of Home Sweet Home even after that. And while we were unconscious, Catnap would have killed us if he had been inside Home Sweet Home. Ollie's warning was therefore most likely a hoax. For that reason, I won't consider this to be Ollie speaking to us outside of PlayCare. However, he does speak with us once more as soon as we get to the school. However, before we get any farther into it, he warns us that Miss Delight is dangerous, and that we won't be able to interact with her on this side of the dome before the audio abruptly stops.
There's someone else in there too. They're not yours.
And we wind up straying inside the playhouse after settling with Miss Delight, which, as we can assume, is still on the dome's side that Ollie is unable to access. Ollie starts inquiring if we're okay as soon as we get away from the larger version of Dog Day and the tiny happy creatures.
Hey, are you all right? No ouchies or lost body parts?
No missing body parts or ouchies. Yes, indeed, it must be a fake. Moreover, it seems like Ollie is making a sincere effort to convey his happiness that everything is well. It was almost as though he was planning to kill us in there. This is where things start to become a little strange since Ollie stops talking to us as soon as we walk into the counselor's office. Despite the fact that Catnap assaulted us while he was inside and didn't even alert us to Catnap's presence. Yes, he was referring to Catnap's passion for hunting and his tendency to lurch in every shadow. However, I find it strange that after we enter the offices, he stops talking to us completely. Only after we've left the offices do we get a call from Ollie, who informs us right away that something has gone wrong and that we need to plug the counselor's office cord into the socket beneath the statue. He doesn't even ask us what happened.
Wrong. Grab the cord from the counselor's office and plug it in underneath the statue. We need to reach 100%.
Now, the chances are very high that he was unaware of Catnap's attack on us. However, it's highly strange that Ollie ceased bringing up Catnap immediately after he began to appear more frequently. After that, Ollie says, quote, "We can get out of here if we transport the big battery to the gas-producing zone. It's crucial once more." However, Catnap comes into the room through a tiny door on the right as we go closer to the battery plug. It's almost like he was anticipating us, and then we start escaping him in an elevator. We also have to get out of the way of Catnap's advances inside the secure chamber for 5 minutes once we get there. And when we eventually beat him with a green hand from the overcharged grab pack, the prototype descends through the ceiling hatch and Catnap starts to pray to him so that he won't perish in our attack. However, out of nowhere, the prototype kills Catnap quickly by plunging his hand into the hatch alongside him. But even after all of this, finally rerouting the red smoke, meeting Poppy, and capping the chapter with the most disgusting cliffhanger of 2024, Ollie doesn't say anything to us. And it seems to me that this was done on purpose. What's most perplexing about it all, though, is this. Kissy Missy attacks us when we leave home sweet home, but Poppy tells her that we're not to blame and that we're here to support her. However, she adds this as well.
I'm glad that Ollie could help you get this far. He's the reason we found you at all.
Alright, so we know that Poppy and Ollie connect in some way. However, Poppy claims that they killed everyone after demonstrating the Hour of Joy to us. But you believe that at some point during the game, she should say something about Ollie having survived the Hour of Joy. However, since she doesn't, Ollie must have been involved with Playtime Co. in another capacity and wasn't a part of the Hour of Joy. With everything that had happened, he was unable to respond to Playtime Co. with all of his expertise. He was not a child even if he had participated in the Hour of Joy, thus it was impossible for him to have done so. In addition, Poppy said that they had all killed. All we can hope for is that Ollie is not the person he's making us believe he is. In addition to my belief that Ollie isn't even human, I also believe that Ollie could be a prototype hiding behind all of the evidence I presented, pretending to be a child at Playcare, wherever at any time with all the keys and information about the dome. Simply consider it for a moment. Assume Ollie was a little child. When we're in the main area of Playcare, how on earth would he have managed to get himself in some safe place where he can watch us intently? Knows the history of some characters even before they were toys and is able to provide us big batteries and keys whenever we need them. Despite all the mystery surrounding him, he has managed to establish a relationship of sorts with Poppy, who never once provides us with any information about Ollie. I'm not sure if Poppy is on our side, but I'll talk more about that in the following theory. However, what are your thoughts about Ollie? And why don't we ever get to see him despite the fact that he is so knowledgeable? Tell me in the comments below. Thank you for seeing. Please subscribe. I'll talk to you later.